replacing with a more environmentally friendly method. Replace. Next one is repair. That is, if you have something broken, what some people what they do, they just throw it, and throwing it causes another environmental impact, whatever it is, and then you take fresh resources to do another one. Now here you save it at both ends. You don't cause a problem of disposal, nor do you extract new resources. What you do is you repair what you have, okay, and next one is recycle. So that's a 7R, which is being practiced very successfully. And you see some of the, now if you take the Inheritance or the Aitken Spence chain, no hotel throws anything to the environment. All their waste they separate and convert into resources. They either reuse, recycle or sell and make money. Most of these hotels make about 20, 30, 40,000 rupees a month on their waste.
So, selling it,
yeah, by what they have done is they have turned garbage into a resource. Now, we do not have to use the term garbage. Garbage is when you put everything together. Wastes are resources if you separate it.
okay.
But if you put all the waste together, the plastic and the banana peel and the paper and the, everything together, that is garbage.
Right.
Then you have problem. Then of course you tell the government we have a solid waste disposal problem. Now you don't have to have this problem at all, right?
So waste is when that is separated.
Waste is a resource if separated.
Okay.
But waste will become garbage if you put all that
together.
Put it
together. Okay.
So don't use the term garbage, right? Use the term resource and try to achieve that.
So now you were talking also at an institutional level where hotels also has put it into practice. So again, because you are always thinking of what the individual can do. Again, I'm asking the same question. See, if I am to, now I have a chocolate, I eat a chocolate and I want to throw the chocolate wrapper. So most of the time I might feel like if there's a bin, okay, I put it, but if there's not, I'll keep it in my hand for some time and then put it somewhere else. So that is something we see many people doing. That is why on the streets and the road we see litter. So what can you say? What should we do?
Very good point. What should we do? I said no, that we have always everybody has something to do. Now these are things like A, B, C or iron or 2 plus 2 is 4. These are things that have to go at school level. And I would say, with my experience in working with at various levels, that our young ones are much better than you and I. They know these things much better. So what we have to do is we have to give them an input. We have to make them aware that these are not things to be done. Not just say don't do this, don't do that, do the next thing, right? Tell them your waste is your property.
Your waste is your property.
Obviously, now if the land is yours, if the pen is yours, if the shoes are yours, waste is also yours. So you are liable, you are responsible to see that it is disposed properly. Now you don't talk of disposing waste. You talk of converting that waste into a resource, because whatever waste that you have, right, whatever waste material you have must be turned into a raw material of somebody else's. Now see, we use a can and you take the stuff inside, you throw the can, then the man who makes the equal broom comes to you, takes the can, and he makes 3 equal brooms with that can. Now what we throw and what's a headache for us has become raw material for him. Now he will even pay for it. You see, so you must be within the circle. You must not throw outside the circle. Now that what you do, you separate and you turn your raw material, even their chocolate wrapper, you bring it to a place where you can put the paper or collect in a bit and sell it or give it to somebody who wants paper, because there are enough and more factories wanting this stuff. You see right around Colombo city and other places, you can see people with gunny bags picking up plastic cups, right? Why? Because they buy by the kilo. They are in need of it. The paper mills need waste paper. It needs about 7,000 tons a day, and we provide only 200 tons.
But that means the individual also has to go an extra mile without just dropping it somewhere.
Exactly.
So what it's a commitment, right? Again.
Yeah.
So do you think people will genuinely take this commitment?
This is how you do it. Now when you go to schools, I ask them, children, in your classes, how many classes have a waste paper? Out of about 10, there will be 1 or 2, right? Now what do? You tell them, if you don't have a waste, from tomorrow go to the Kade to speak to the Mudalali Mama, and he will easily give you a cardboard box free, have it there. Then you are developing a culture, a waste conscious culture. So that what happens after that day, everybody will put that into the box, and it will be only paper, right? Don't bring polythene into school. Bring food in a box. Eat it, the balance can be composted or take it home and compost it. No problem. You see, there are very easy solutions to these things, right? But only thing is, they must be told that it must be deposited in such a way that is separated and made use of as a resource. That is the only thing that's necessary. Once you do that and put that idea in and put it into practice. Now, say if a teacher is there and teacher wants to throw some paper, we never throw papers, we never even crush papers, because we give this to people who make bags, right? So, we use it on one side. Now, you see this is used on this side, and I have used the other side also. Use, reuse, then what you do, you give to a bag manufacturer and he pastes this, and this makes it a bag. So, use, reuse, reuse, and after that what happens? After that this goes to the paper factory, recycle, use, reuse, reuse, recycle.
That's an
still it is within the circle. Right. The moment it jumps out, it becomes pollution.
Okay.
You see, so these are very easy things. This is not a complicated thing.
And also it can bring down to the level that everybody can understand.
Exactly. Even the small child on the street and the man on the street also can do it.
So, that concept, I thought the change in the perception was something crucial that really we need to focus on, because we always think that waste is something we really have to throw. But
exactly.
now you are saying waste is your property, if land is your property. Now land is our property, whatever we have is our property, nobody needs to tell that to us, because that we know. But waste is something always we want to throw away. Yeah. But to say, okay, if land is your property, if what you used and you don't want is also your property, I think is a change in the perception.
Exactly.
So, I think that's a very important insight that you told, Mr.
Yeah, and
Silva.
also basically waste are two grades, biodegradable and non-degradable.
Okay.
You see, so the degradable stuff, no problem at all, you can compost it. You see, what I say is, I have never set anything on fire for the last 25 years. I don't use fire.
You don't use fire?
No. What for? I use a fire only to light a candle or to boil some water, right? Never burn any of the. I ask the school children when the leaves fall from the trees, where does it belong to? It belongs to Mother Earth, not for you to sweep and burn, right? It has to fertilize the earth. You don't fertilize forests.
Thou art to thus return.
Exactly. Exactly. You don't fertilize forests. It's the things that drop from the trees. So that is the property of the earth, not yours and mine. So it is none of your business to collect it and burn it, right? So don't burn anything. All these are resources. You see, now I have a small land, 18 perches in Javadanapura. I have never lit any fire there. I have never burnt anything there. And all the leaves that fall go back to the trees. Either I compost it in a pit or I just leave it at the root of it. And then I have avocado pears, more than 1 kilo, a fruit.
Now, this brings me to an interesting question, Mr. De Silva. Now, as an environmentalist, you were giving some examples as to how you've led your life. So, can I ask you to elaborate further to say, for us to figure out what is your level of commitment to the environment?
Okay, now for instance, say, I don't use plastic bags. I don't use plastic at all, unless of course it is the only option left for me, right? But if I use, I make sure that it's sent to a recycling. Now, that's what not only I, even the institutions where I work, that's what they do. Okay, those are the non-degradable stuff. All degradable stuff is composted. Now, for instance, you take Bandaravilla Hotel, they compost all their vegetable waste, and that goes into a biogarden. Okay, take Kandalama, they do that at a large scale. They compost the waste and they sell it in 2 kilo packs, the compost manure. Now, what I say, these are resources, right? But what if it was burnt? You're burning the candle at both ends. At this end, you're burning a resource, right? Now, say you cut down a tree and burn it, you're burning a resource, and you're also burning a carbon sink which can draw carbon. You know, you're contributing to climate change. On the other side, what are you doing? You're emitting carbon dioxide with the fire. So you must never. So I always tell, especially the small ones, don't use fire. In your life, never burn anything. Everything must go back. Now, in the paddy fields, the straw must go back as fertilizer into the. You see, now you can see how many tons of straw being burnt in. You see, now that's never done in any other country. Now, it's a simple thing to compost that. Now, what I am saying is, these are not high top technologies. You know, not high tech. These are very simple solutions which people like Parakumba, Mahasen did.